Dear soul, my name is Infinity and welcome to Infinity Moon Tarot Guidance. Let's start with our message. What's the energy around the collective when it comes to love and romance? Someone here is seeing you in a completely different light. This is coming through as duality energy, but not in a negative way. It's showing me that you have layers that this person is finally beginning to understand. If you're someone who was talking to someone and then suddenly it went silent, know that person is coming back with a new perspective. If you've been consistently communicating with someone, there may be a shift coming where things temporarily fall away, but this is part of a larger divine realignment. For those of you who have been going through the struggle, feeling like life has been testing you at every turn, feeling exhausted from being the strong one, I have good news. You're about to have a beautiful breakthrough. Justice is here in this reading, and this card doesn't appear lightly. Whatever has occurred in your life, whether it's related to relationships or even financial matters, you're receiving vindication. God is coming in to balance out what was unbalanced. There's someone who desperately wants to speak their truth to you, and that truth has been hidden or unseen for far too long. I'm also picking up that someone has been trying to figure you out. They've been watching you, studying you, trying to understand what makes you different. If you're a part of this collective, there's something genuinely special about you. You don't look at life the way most people do. You see things from an elevated perspective, but you're also grounded in reality. You're someone who balances the spiritual with the practical, and that's rare. Some people are completely lost in spiritual concepts with no grounding, while others are so focused on material success that they've lost their soul connection. But you found a way to honor both worlds, and that creates a unique duality in your energy. Throughout life, you may have lost things or people, but God is preparing to repay you, to rebalance your situation. You have tremendous divine assistance stepping in right now. There are spiritual forces working on your behalf to facilitate a major conversation or to clear up misunderstandings. Some of you may have been divinely guided to lose something or someone temporarily so you could walk God's intended path and eventually reconnect when the timing was right. This separation, as painful as it was, reconnected you more deeply with your faith and with yourself. Your person, whoever this is for you, needs to know that they too have divine intervention working in their life. Both of you have been doing the inner work separately. You were meant to be genuinely happy right now. There's a wish fulfillment coming in, bringing good fortune, success, blessings, and genuine joy because you earned it through the work you've done. Your person has also been doing their own work. You both had to separate to complete necessary tasks, to work through your individual karma, to gain the higher perspective of what you could accomplish together versus what you needed to learn apart. If you were talking to someone and then stopped, everything fell apart for them just as things may have shifted for you, though in different ways. Justice is coming in strong because whoever has been talking about you, whoever has been spreading narratives, the truth is finally coming to light. People are saying that you were divinely guided, that you brought happiness to your person's life, that you were a wish granted. Your person may never have fully expressed to you how special you are, how much you elevated their thinking and expanded their world. But that unexpressed truth is weighing on them now. There's so much unspoken communication here, so much telepathic connection between you. You might find yourself wondering if you're imagining things, questioning why they're not vocalizing what you feel they're feeling. The truth is, they feel deeply but struggle to express it. You have a clear divine connection to this person. When they're experiencing anxiety, you feel it in your chest. When they're going through something difficult, you sense it. You know when they're good and when they're struggling, even without any communication. That's the depth of your bond. If this reading resonated with you, consider contributing through a super thanks. Whether it's $5, $10, $20, or more, your offering helps me continue to share love with those who need it most. Together, we are building a community. Someone here feels like they betrayed you, or perhaps you feel you betrayed them. There's deep regret in this energy. Your person waited too long to express their truth, and that delay made you feel like you were being played. You needed to be logical because when you operated from your emotions and intuition, you weren't seeing matching actions in the physical world. Love is action. If someone loves you, they show it through their choices and behavior. Your person feels immense guilt about not demonstrating their love properly. There's profound sadness here about how things unfolded. If there was a third party involved, understand that they're not even on the same level as you. Someone can try to copy you, duplicate your energy, replicate what you bring to the table, but you remain the original blueprint. When things go wrong or plans fall apart, They need you because you're the source, the foundation. There's a major change coming within the next 3 days. The numbers 39, 11, 59, 33, 95, and 93 may be significant for you as dates, times, or life path numbers. Your person is genuinely angry, but not at you. They're standing up now, filled with frustration because they didn't stand up for you when it mattered. Maybe there were people talking and they had to make a choice, but stayed silent instead. They're upset with the world, upset with how everything unfolded between you two. They're angry at themselves for not protecting what you had together. Your person has been receiving information, perhaps recently during this Mercury retrograde period, that's completely shifting their perspective. They're seeing how semiconductor export restrictions, how restricted information and controlled narratives kept them in the dark about who you really are. People were deliberately manipulating the story, feeding them lies designed to make them walk away from you. The narrative was being controlled to isolate you, to end your connection before it could fully develop. That's why your person is angry now, because they're realizing they were manipulated by people they trusted. Someone created an elaborate deception, claiming they had to share a difficult truth when it was actually calculated lies meant to separate you from your person. Your person trusted this source, believed they wouldn't be deceived, but now they're seeing clearly. The lies were formed in secrecy, delivered under the guise of looking out for your person's best interests. The goal was to stop your partnership, to prevent your progression, to destroy the peace you were building together. Your person is furious because someone they trusted completely fabricated stories about you to control the outcome. For some of you, whoever created these lies actually wants to be you. They speak badly about you, but then adopt your mannerisms, your interests, your spiritual practices. This person claims numerology is wrong while secretly studying it. They criticize astrology while learning about zodiac signs. They tear you down publicly while privately copying everything that makes you unique. Your person is finally seeing this clearly. You and your person always had a special connection, something deeper than surface attraction. You represented peace to them in a way they'd never experienced. That's why when this other energy, whether it's one person or multiple people, realized how happy you made your person, jealousy took over. Your person is angry now because they understand that people purposely kept them in the dark through controlled communication. That communication was designed specifically to end your twin flame progression. Your person is having a complete awakening. They're seeing how someone tried to wear your identity to become you in their life. Someone changed their appearance, their knowledge base, their whole presentation to mirror you because your person fell in love with your essence. Now your person is looking at this imitation and thinking they settled for a cheap replacement when they could have had the real thing. They're realizing they fell for a manipulation, a bait and switch, and it's devastating to them. This other person wanted your person to fall in love with their version of you, but it's not working. Your person recognizes the difference now. They're saying clearly that you are their divine connection, that they love you, that you're not just their soulmate, but their twin flame. The twin flame card appeared here, confirming this bond. Your person felt their absolute best when they were with you. They experienced peace and enlightenment in your presence before negative influences convinced them to pull away, to play games, to protect themselves unnecessarily. This person's intentions toward you were originally pure. You were incredibly good to them, loving and loyal in a way that made them almost obsessive about your energy and the care you provided. They became attached to how you gave to them, how you showed up for them. Now they're realizing how invested you were in the relationship itself, not in what they could provide materially. You were invested in the soul connection, in the twin flame bond, in building something real and lasting. Someone is sitting with the realization that you were the one putting in all the effort, all the genuine work. Now they understand why you were so committed. You could feel this was meant to be for those with Pisces, Taurus, or Cancer energy in your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or especially Mars placements. This message is particularly strong. Mars shows how we take action, including action in love, and your Mars placement drove you to invest deeply in this connection. Your person is questioning themselves now. Why did they make you wait? Why do they keep making you wait? Some of you have waited for extended periods. For others, this is a new relationship where people tried to manipulate your person's perception before you even had a real chance together. But your intentions are pure. You're vulnerable with this person, loving toward them, giving to them in ways that create emotional balance. You've made sacrifices to show them the purity of your heart. Now they're seeing everything from a completely different angle. They're recognizing how intuitive you are, how you seem to know things about them that you couldn't possibly know through normal means. You may have given them advice that was so accurate they wondered if you were watching them somehow. The truth is simpler and more profound. You're deeply connected. Whatever they feel, you feel. Whatever they're experiencing, you sense. This is the nature of your divine bond. The recent full moon affected your person significantly. It divided their reality, forcing them to take action. We're in Scorpio season, and Scorpio's original ruling planet is Mars, not Pluto, which intensifies this action energy. The full moon made your person see clearly the duality around them, the difference between what's real and what's fake, between godly influences and deceptive ones. Your person now has absolute clarity about which direction they want to pursue. Whatever came with this full moon removed materialistic lies and excess from your person's life. That full moon in Taurus impacted their value system fundamentally. They're questioning what they truly value, what they genuinely stand for. They know the truth now, they have justice and clarity, but justice differs from judgment in important ways. Judgment represents spiritual consequences, the universe delivering lessons. Justice represents conscious choice and accountability in the physical realm. Your person is acknowledging they wasted precious time waiting to see different sides of you that don't exist. Someone around them kept saying you weren't who you appeared to be, creating doubt and causing tower moments of upheaval. But now your person sees clearly. For those with Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, or Capricorn placements, heavy Mars energy is activating for you. Whatever action your person is preparing to take because of the full moon has completely shifted their narrative, their timeline, their entire ideology about relationships and about themselves. Your person is beginning to understand that you are everything to them. Through all of this, you've conducted yourself with integrity, keeping your head up, deserving complete vindication. Communication is coming. We're currently in Mercury retrograde, which actually supports reconnection and truth-telling. Your person is intensely focused on you, on talking to you, on expressing their truth, on revealing what really happened. They're questioning how they can continue pretending to live their life while being stuck on you. For some, they've been stuck for years. For others, they're newly drawn to you, but recognize they need to stop playing games and just take action. The truth they need to share requires tremendous strength. They need courage to come forward and tell you directly that they're in love with you. This could even be someone you just met who needs to confess that despite usually being emotionally guarded, despite not typically falling for people easily, they're completely in love with you. Someone is looking at their phone, wishing you would text or call. If you're already in communication, they're wanting to talk constantly to express their feelings, but they're afraid of sounding strange or coming on too strong. The more this person fell for you, the more they pretended the opposite was true because they didn't want to appear weak or be mocked by others. They acted like they didn't care when the truth is their feelings for you border on obsessive because they're genuinely in love with you. This person is obsessing over you but struggling to admit it. They didn't tell you they've been watching you, thinking about you constantly. Their friends think it's excessive how much they like you, how much they want to be around you. This person feels like a fool. They carry enormous regret and remorse because they lack the strength to tell you the truth, to come forward, to have honest conversations. For some of you, they want you to unblock them because they're trying to call and need to talk. For others, someone else blocked you in their phone and now your person thinks you blocked them. They're confused about why communication stopped. Your person wants you to understand several things. First, they never expected you to walk away based on their actions. They're shocked that you had the self-respect to leave. Second, they messed up and don't know how to articulate it, but they desperately want to mend things and rebuild broken trust. Third, they go back and forth mentally because they focused on your differences, on whether their family would accept you, on external factors rather than what their heart was telling them. They made you wait and they want to explain why. They want to acknowledge how you focused on yourself and your growth during the separation. They owe you an apology. There's deep regret about listening to friends and family regarding your situation and connection. Multiple times they wanted to message you, to be with you, but outside voices told them to pull back. Your person tried to focus on business or getting their finances right before pursuing you properly, but everything fell apart in the process. These are the specific topics your person wants to discuss. They need to explain why they didn't think you'd walk away and how they felt when you did. They want you to understand why they're tongue-tied now, what's stopping them from speaking their truth. The answer involves embarrassment and remorse over how they treated you. They want to clarify what differences they perceived that made them listen to friends instead of their own heart. They want to tell you what those actual differences were that temporarily kept you apart. Most importantly, they want you to know what they miss about you, not just surface things like your voice, laugh, humor, texts, or physical touch, but the deeper essence of who you are and what your connection represented. Some of you may have dealt with a person who had medical issues, whether mental health struggles or physical illness requiring hospitalization. This person hasn't felt well, but the environment they were in made them depressed about not being able to communicate with you, not being able to give to you. Some of you, your person felt betrayed by you based on lies others told, and you're confused about what you supposedly did wrong. The truth is, you did nothing. The lies and bad advice from people they trusted created false narratives. Your person should have followed their intuition because their friends and family were completely wrong. Now they're praying for a second chance. Your person was already insecure about romance to begin with. They might excel in business or friendships, but with you, they're different. You scramble them in the best way. Even if they're normally confident or experienced with dating, when it comes to you, they're clumsy and nervous. You affect them unlike anyone else ever has. This person is divinely guided to take specific action now. They're learning to love themselves thanks to your influence. They have something they need to confess, something they need to express from their heart and chest loudly and proudly. They played themselves and they know it. They allowed others to dictate their choices, but they're done with that pattern. They're breaking free, ready to live their truth, ready to be happy, ready to stop being sick, ready to stop pulling away. They're ready to come clean because they don't want to lose you. They received bad advice, and while you might rightfully point out they still chose to follow it, they want you to understand it seemed sound because it came from married friends and family who they thought understood relationships better. These trusted people steered them wrong. Your person is ready to speak their truth now. What you may not realize is this was a necessary hard lesson for them, a wake-up call they needed. Whatever was happening had gotten out of control, and this experience taught them about authentic choice and personal responsibility. This person is going through their awakening, experiencing a fresh start where they're connecting to spirit authentically and wanting to take your relationship to the next level. Something significant may happen around the 21st, 16th, or 10th. The next 2 weeks are imperative for what this person is planning, and it may genuinely shock and surprise you. Their regret is profound. They wanted to message you constantly, but held back on bad advice. There were moments they tried to focus elsewhere, tried to get their external life together first, but things kept falling apart without you. For those of you who understand numerology and deeper spiritual symbolism, you recognize patterns others miss. Your person tried to understand on an intellectual level, but is now learning through direct experience. They're realizing they should have trusted what they felt about you from the beginning. They're seeing that you were divinely placed in their path, that the connection between you transcends normal relationship dynamics, that this is genuinely a twin flame journey requiring faith, patience, and courage. Your person is on the verge of communicating all of this to you. The waiting period is ending. Divine timing is aligning circumstances for the truth to emerge fully. You deserve this vindication, this apology, this acknowledgement of everything you brought to the connection and everything you endured. Your person knows they owe you flowers, dinner, genuine effort, and consistent action backing up their words. They understand they need to make amends because they're the ones who created this situation through their choices. The message here for you is to continue focusing on yourself, maintaining your standards, trusting your intuition. You were right to walk away if actions weren't matching words. You were right to prioritize your peace and protect your energy. Everything that's unfolding now confirms the wisdom of your choices. You maintained your integrity throughout the situation, and that's why divine justice is working in your favor. For those of you with strong intuitive gifts, you've likely already sensed much of what's coming. Trust those intuitive hits. Your person is indeed thinking about you constantly, wanting to reach out, working up courage to have honest conversations. The full moon energy created necessary shifts, and Mercury retrograde is supporting the return of past connections with new understanding and maturity. This is a powerful time for truth, healing, and new beginnings built on authentic foundation. Your person recognizes now that you're not just attractive physically, but that you radiate a light that draws them magnetically. In person, you're even more magnetic than in photos because people sense your aura, your energy, your essence. You project happiness and spiritual brightness that can't be captured in images. Your person is looking at pictures of you, at videos you made together, treasuring these memories and never wanting to delete them despite whatever separation occurred. The confession coming involves admitting they've been watching you, thinking about you, unable to move forward without addressing this connection. Their friends may think it's excessive, but your person can't help how strongly they feel. They feel like a fool for not acting sooner, for allowing fear and outside influence to delay what their heart knew from the start. They want another chance. They want to prove through actions that their love is real and lasting. This reading reveals the deep truth of your connection and the imminent breakthrough coming. Your person is learning that you figured them out on levels that initially scared them because it revealed how seen they were in your presence. They're grateful you came into their life. They're learning self-love through loving you, but they need to make their confession, speak their truth from a place of courage and vulnerability. They broke free from controlling influences. They recognize the bad advice they received. They understand you might be justifiably hurt or angry, but they're hoping you'll hear them out because this was genuinely a hard lesson they needed to learn about authentic choice, trusting intuition over external opinions, and recognizing real love when it appears. The coming days and weeks bring significant developments. Stay open but protected. Trust your discernment. You'll know through their actions whether this transformation is genuine. You'll feel in your intuitive, knowing whether this return merits your time and energy. But the universe is confirming that justice is being served, that truth is emerging, that divine timing is orchestrating reunion and healing if that serves your highest good. This is your message today. Trust the process. Honor your journey. Recognize your worth. You are the blueprint, the original, the divine feminine or divine masculine who maintained integrity throughout testing circumstances. Everything that was meant for you is coming back aligned and correct. Divine timing is perfect timing. Your breakthrough is here. I love you all. Until next time, may you walk in light and truth.